Hi everyone, my name is Sahil and today my presentation to you would be on the retail solutions that we have from EON Reality. I'm Sahil from Singapore, working as Business Development Manager here. So I will move on with the presentation here. So what is VR? VR is what we think is one of the strongest means of knowledge transfer, which helps us remember longer, learn faster, and decide better. So that these are the guiding principles that we use in developing all our applications and our underlying software to ensure that the knowledge retention is increased. Just to give you a bit of an introduction about the products before we start. Our strategy when we go on platforms is from phone to dome. So we cover the entire platform suite. From smartphones, from tablets, desktops, ZVR solutions, which is holographic desktop systems, to immersive display systems like the cubes. They could also be domes, etc. So that's why you see on the slide over here that we have solutions from AR/VR glasses, mobile, gesture-based systems, holographic display systems, and of course the immersive display system. So we cover the entire suite. About us as a company, because that's very important for you to understand what we do as a company and how long have we been in this game. So we've been around for the last 17 years. We have 17 years plus of R&D effort. We have been very strong with education. That's where we started off, but then we have also ventured into industry and edutainment, securing multiple government partners, government organizations around the world, and working with all of them and adding value regionally and globally. Since virtual and augmented reality is picking up in the market right now, we've been in the news, and these are some of the news channels that have featured us. Our chairman has been featured as well, our CEO has been featured, members of our Singapore team as well have been featured. So the VR is right now at its peak right now, and we feel that it's going to keep growing at this rate, at this exponential rate, wherein mass adoption is on the cards, and also at the consumer level. So we have a 4P vision, which is the underlying vision for us, which drives us to our goal as a company. The first P is purpose, where we believe that knowledge is a human right, and we are working hard on a daily basis in ensuring that we can democratize knowledge as much as possible, so that we can make it available, affordable, and accessible to everyone on the planet. Second P is people. We look at people from two aspects. One, which is people who are in our IDC network, people who can help us regionally understand and solve problems locally and regionally, and also who can help us develop applications for those people. So that's where we have the IDC part and the global empowerment covered. Third P, of course, which is the strongest for any company, is products. We have products out here which we are trying to use to solve problems at scale. The EON AVR platform is one such solution, which is to solve problems at scale. It's more of an education solution, so hence I will not be speaking more about it in this presentation, but you can follow our education seminar to learn more about the AVR platform. The fourth P is programs. Programs are basically applications that we develop with our global network, with our IDC network around the world. We try to create applications specific to a region to solve problems for that region. So that's what we are speaking about here. So now that the vision is highlighted, it's important for us to execute the vision as well. So I'll let this slide load and I'll just explain it in a very quick snapshot. So what really happens is that we are one company which is able to provide end-to-end solution. So you don't really have to worry about, if you're just looking for us from software point of view, We can provide software, hardware, service, and content development. So everything end to end is what we provide. We have unmatched global reach as well. So if you're a big organization, if you want to solve problems at scale, we have the expertise around the world to help you and solve problems. In-depth domain penetration, the fact that we've been around for the past 17 plus years gives us a whole lot of experience in solving problems at scale for everyone globally and even regionally. So pointer number 2 of unmatched global reach actually helps us in pointer number 4. So the fact that we have been around for the last 17 years, creating applications to scale and solving problems, we have a rapidly growing world audience today. We have the #1 growing audience in the world today. So I'll move on from here. Speaking of the end-to-end solution, let me just put this on the side. Speaking of end-to-end solution, we have a few input data formats which can be accepted into our platform to create applications. Now, the input formats could be your 360 videos, images, animation, etc. They could also be your CAD models. They could also be your stereolithography models. They could also be your 3ds Max model, Maya, etc. So what happens there is once you import the 3D files into our platform, you can then create animations, you can create applications. And these applications can then be published on multiple formats, the formats that we spoke about earlier, which is from phone to dome. So just to revise the platforms again, so that you have an image associated with the platform, you can see the few platforms highlighted, the few key platforms highlighted here, all the way from phone to dome. Unmatched global reach, the fact that we are actually looking to solve problems regionally, our solution to doing that is IDCs. IDC is nothing but a conglomerate of the entrepreneurship school, the VR AR school, where we teach to students to use our applications, develop applications using our software, and also creating a showroom wherein we can showcase the entire plethora of applications. So that's what the IDC is. We will obviously be speaking about the IDC a lot later as well. I want to speak a little about the references that we have in the retail market around the world, and I would like to show that to you through with some videos. So speaking about this reference, I would want to give you a background before we move into the detail here. This is something that we did in Bangkok, and what really happens here is that we have two cave systems next to each other interacting in space, so that you can communicate in virtual reality. Now I'll let the video do the talking and explain thereafter.
So when we started this project, we wanted to share our vision of what the future of communication is. So to build that, we have been working with EON, who have been supplying their iCube engine. It's a really great system in which we can track the eyes of the people, so we can change their perspective, so we can very finely control the point of view of the person when that person is moving inside the space. And that allows us.
So I'll just pause here to explain. So you see where my cursor is right now, that is the first iCube. Where my cursor is right now is the second iCube. And what happens is the person on the right is able to interact with the person on the left virtually. So they are in the same virtual space and also interacting in that virtual space virtually. It's a slightly complicated sentence.
To create a fully immersive virtual reality environment. We realize that today, when you call someone, you decide who you call and when you call them, and we believe that in the future, you will also decide where to be and what to do together. So we wanted to create a shared space in which you can get shared activities between you or your friends. So that's why we created this fully immersive virtual reality environment. And when consumers...
This is where you can see that this person who is in real virtual space is able to interact with this person who is virtually present there.
Go in, they're able to see their friend in full body size, and in 3D, and they can decide, let's go to a cafe or let's go to a river, and that's how they communicate with each other. They actually share the same space. Welcome to AIS Future Experience Center. So here we have two EON iCubes connecting one user from Chiang Mai and one user from Phuket. So we have cameras that do a real-time video reconstruction of the person. When you go together in this iCube, you can see your partner or your friend in full 3D. So here they can choose a different experience together by just using the hand like icon. So in this case, Skype carousel is selected, and here the living room is being transformed into the Skype carousel in the future Bangkok.
The future of communication is very difficult to tell. Innovation is very important to the telecom business nowadays because innovation can make us to be a leader and also make us different from the competitor.
I'll pause this video here. So I hope you get an understanding of how one such reference that we have done in Bangkok. I would also like to move over to another reference which kind of shows something different. So a bit of a background here, I'll pause here. So interactive mirror is one of our solutions, and as the name suggests, it's a mirror which allows you to see yourself, and it's interactive, which means you can interact with 3D objects. So like you see, the person over here is interacting with 3D objects. For example, clothes. She's trying on different clothes without actually having to change them. So here you'll see more in the video. So this was one of the references that we did out of Singapore, and the reason we wanted to show this was because it adds to the fashion industry as well, aside from it being in a retail setting. A bit of a background here. This is one reference that we have again out of Singapore. This is also in one of the leading malls here. What really happened here was that during Christmas we showcased the iCube mobile with a Christmas simulation, Christmas roller coaster, which allows people to catch gifts, and the one that catches the most number of gifts gets the most number of points, and the one with the most number of points towards the end of the month is rewarded with a $1,000 voucher in the mall. So I'll let the experience play.
So Monitor approached us on how Singaporean shoppers could enjoy a better shopping experience this Christmas. We got really excited from the start because this opened up a huge opportunity for EON in the retail market. And voila, the result was magical. It was a Christmas card cracker experience coming alive in our iCube mobile.
So this is a simulation that we created which allowed children from age 6 and upwards to get inside our iCube, put on the 3D glasses, have a marker in their hand and catch gifts just like they would on an actual sleigh.
Basically kick off on the magical sleigh ride, and all you have to do is wave the wand in the game and collect presents along the way. And so far, as you can see, shoppers simply love the experience.
How would you like it? You like it a lot.
You enjoyed it? Alright, well done then.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
So this was one such experience that we did over Christmas here in Singapore. So now we'll move on to some of the detailed images. So this is the AIS VR future experience, the video that we just saw. This is just speaking about it in detail and what we really achieved during the simulation. So I'll just show you the snippets here. Another thing that we did with Coates, Coates is an electronics store out of Singapore, and what we managed to achieve here was that you can try out different headsets, headphones rather, without having to actually try them. You can actually try them virtually. So you see this person over here, you see virtual headsets around him, and this gives him the idea, this gives him an access to quickly understand which is the best headphone suiting him, and then he makes the purchase accordingly. So that's what we managed to achieve there. Our work with Merlin Entertainment is also one to take note of, where we have developed applications for Madame Tussauds being the most popular one, Warwick Castle, Sea Life, etc. And this has been deployed in about 22 countries across 4 continents. The VR Christmas experience is the video that we just saw towards the end. So I will not go into the detail here since we've seen the video. Another experience worth mentioning is the FIFA World Cup fan experience. So what we did really here was we have created the entire digital center during the FIFA World Cup of 2014 and have interactive mirrors set up. So the idea was to ensure that the traffic was controlled before the match and engaged in virtual reality experiences so that they could make sure that the waiting time was properly utilized. So these are some of the images. These are some of the images of the virtual experience that we created. So some statistics that will help you understand how we are taking the virtual and augmented reality to scale in the retail space. So one of the examples here is that 48,000 EON Coliseum VR headsets were sold in the first week, which had a gross revenue of 1.2 million for us. So what we did here was that in our partnership with Universal Music Group and EON Coliseum, we created an application which under Seek VR to serve the masses. And that is a huge number to start with within the first week. I'll skip this here. So why is this wave picking up right now? I think it all started, in our opinion, here at EON, with Facebook making the first investment of $2 billion in acquiring a company called Oculus. Their acquisition led to a whole surge in the VR and AR market, with a few other companies like Microsoft, Google, Samsung, Sony, few others, etc. coming on the board and putting money across and developing their own expertise in the virtual and augmented reality market. It's not just for video games. We strongly believe that virtual and augmented reality can be for a lot more things than just video games, and it could serve a whole lot of markets here. But our interest right now is retail, which we believe would be a $1.6 billion market by 2020. Most of us would know what Pokemon Go was, so this is worth highlighting here as well. The amount of impact that Pokemon Go had from July to August was worth noting. We managed to get around 300 million subscribers downloading the application, in excess of 300 million subscribers, I must say, downloading the application, enjoying the experience, and this application did actually go viral for that period of 2 to 3 months. And there are still people in the volume of millions still using the application. So this is worth knowing because this is what has propelled the augmented reality wave. This is one of the experts from our Goldman Sachs saying that 85% of VR and AR growth will come from non-gaming simulations. So this is again worth noting. So it would add value to different sectors, like in your case, retail. And this is what we believe the market size would be as we move from 2016 to 2020, and how the market would grow from something which is as less as $2 or $2.5 billion market right now, it would grow to something which is around to the order of $150 billion. So interactive digital center hubs. Now, this is our solution to bringing the technology to your location and solving problems at the regional level. Now, what is it exactly? So an IDC it comprises of a VR school wherein we teach students within your university or within your community of how to develop AR and VR applications. Second is these trained students can then develop applications and content. So it becomes like a content factory. Number 3 is that it's also a sustainable business. Because you have students, you also have a showroom showcasing all the virtual reality technologies. You can use this as a business to grow and serve your community locally. Global distribution. Now, if we have a center in your region, it helps us solve global problems as well as regional problems. So that's what the IDC is all about in a very quick helicopters overview. I'll skip this. So we have a regional hub strategy as well. So what happens here is that we have a headquarter IDC which works across and solves problems for the entire continent, and then we have smaller IDC centers in different parts of the continent as well. I'll move on from here. So for example, my regional hub strategy, the one that I mentioned, is that we have an IDC hub in Mauritius which was inaugurated only last year, would work as a headquarter for few IDC hubs like in South Africa, Ethiopia, Liberia and Morocco. So that's a regional hub strategy that we have. It's an IDC hub and a satellite strategy. So here are a few use cases where our IDC hub has been inaugurated. State of Mexico is one such. Indian IDC, where we're working with India. We are also using the regional hub strategy in India as well, wherein we are looking to open at least 24 IDC hubs in India, so that we can train up to 500 million Indians. IDC hub in Pretoria, so some references from them. Abu Dhabi, City University of New York, Nanyang Technological University. So this is the youngest university, and it's out here incorporating the virtual and augmented reality solutions and bringing it to their curriculum. This is the California IDC funding, which was agreed upon. Deakin University in Australia, where we have inaugurated the center and we will be doing the showroom installation later this year. South African University as well. So on and so forth. I won't go into the details there because we have a separate IDC webinar which you can follow, which will help you understand how the IDC's hub strategy really goes in detail. So just to share with you the overview of locations that we have across the world, this is what we had by the end of 2016, and this is what we are hoping to secure by end of 2017. Most of them are signed as of now, and there are some which need to be signed. So I would like to end my presentation here, and should you have any questions on retail, please feel free to reach out to me. My name is Sahil Kumar, and I can be reached at sahil@eonreality.com. All simple letters. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.